The promise of digital products is usually sold as easy passive income. You create something once, put it online, and the money rolls in. The reality of platforms where these products live is very different. Most creators launch into a saturated void and fail to make sales. Building a product for a broad category, like a basic daily planner or a generic fitness guide, puts you in direct competition with thousands of established sellers. When every product in a search result solves the exact same general problem, buyers make their decision based on one metric: price. You end up trapped in a race to the bottom, constantly undercutting your own margins just to get noticed. By 2026, the sheer volume of AI-generated generic content will make broad markets almost impossible to penetrate. Survival requires abandoning large general audiences and focusing on hyper-specific micro-niches. This comparison matrix shows the economic shift. The broad market forces high competition and low prices for generic problems. The micro-niche column drops competition, allowing premium prices for specific problems. Instead of a $5 beginner's guide, you sell a $50 real estate AI system. You are making a calculated trade. You sacrifice the illusion of a massive total audience in exchange for absolute pricing power. To pull this off, we need to evaluate the 5 dominant digital product formats and find the exact match for your personal constraints. If you do not shrink your target audience down to a microscopic level, you guarantee your own invisibility. We evaluate these product formats using 3 metrics: upfront effort, required skill, and pricing power. This is the scorecard for micro-niche ebooks and printables. Because they rely entirely on structured text and basic layouts, they score very low on both required effort and technical skill. In exchange, they cap out at low to medium pricing power. The trade-off is immediate. If you can make a PDF guide over a weekend, 50 other sellers can replicate your idea by the following Monday. This brings us to private label rights, or PLR. This is the practice of buying the commercial rights to a pre-made digital asset and reselling it as your own. Look at the scorecard for PLR. The creation phase drops to 0. You don't build the product, you buy it. Your entire workload shifts to sales and distribution. The major risk with PLR is commoditization. If you list a raw, unedited PLR file, you are selling the exact same asset as hundreds of other people. To gain any pricing power, you have to rebrand it, combine it into bundles, and position it uniquely. The friction of running a business doesn't disappear with these formats. It just moves from the initial creation phase to the daily grind of driving traffic and fighting for attention. Choosing a low-barrier product means accepting a hard truth. Your competitive advantage will never be the product itself. It has to be your marketing execution. Let's look at the other side of the matrix: formats that require specialized expertise, significant capital, or intense production time. This scorecard for niche design templates, like specific Canva overlays or specialized business kits, shows high conversion rates. Buyers do not want to design from scratch. They will gladly pay for an instant plug-and-play visual solution. But this category is strictly gated by actual design proficiency. If your template is ugly or difficult to use, it generates 0 sales. Then we have the highest effort category: structured learning paths. This includes specialized video courses and high-fidelity audio products. This scorecard shows that courses and audio deep dives command the highest pricing power. Because they solve complex, painful problems step by step, creators regularly charge hundreds of dollars per sale. The danger here is the upfront investment. You can spend weeks scripting, recording, and editing a high-production course, only to launch it and face total market rejection. The allure of premium pricing is a trap if it distracts you from verifying that an audience actually exists for the problem you are solving. Specialized assets carry the highest potential profit margins, but if you build them based on your own assumptions, you take on devastating upfront financial and time risks. To neutralize that risk, you need a validation protocol. You have to prove the demand exists before you write a single page or record a single minute of audio. This checklist breaks down the 3 steps. Step 1 is search demand. You use keyword tools to confirm that people are actively typing your specific micro-niche problem into search engines. Step 2 is marketplace competition. You analyze platforms like Etsy and Gumroad. You want to find spaces where the current listings are weak, outdated, or generic. Step 3 is pricing power. You look at what people are currently paying for similar outcomes to ensure the audience has a budget and isn't just looking for free tutorials. When you evaluate those 3 metrics together, you get an objective, emotionless go or no-go decision on your product idea. Taking the time to do this is psychologically difficult. It forces you to delay the immediate dopamine hit of jumping in and building something new. But skipping validation is not moving faster. It is simply gambling with your time. This protocol is the only reliable shield you have against market rejection. By 2026, general market competition will have reached its absolute ceiling. Success requires mapping these validated product formats directly against your personal reality. This decision tree evaluates your primary constraint, splitting options based on time, capital, and skill. Side hustlers follow the low-time path to PLR and templates. Skilled professionals take the high-skill path, leveraging barriers to entry for premium courses and audio deep dives. If you misalign your product choice with your constraints, like trying to produce an exhaustive course on a 2-hour-a-week schedule, you will burn out before the product ever sees the light of day. But even if you perfectly match your skills to the right format, there is one final threat that destroys perfectly matched creators: the generic trap. You can execute a product flawlessly, but if you build it for an undefined, broad audience, it will sit untouched. 0 buyers. You have to compete on hyper-specific value. Joining the price wars of a broad market guarantees failure. Profitability in 2026 rewards those who objectively match their personal constraints to a painful problem in an underserved micro-niche.